When you picture a forest, who do you think actually builds it? We're going to dive into the incredible and often totally invisible work of what I like to call nature's unsung architects. We're going to find out how birds are, in a very real sense, the true builders of our forests.
So imagine you're walking into a forest. What's the first thing you hear? You've got the wind, the leaves, but almost always you hear birds. And that sound, that bird song, it isn't just background noise. It's actually a vital sign. It's the living proof that the entire ecosystem around you is healthy and really truly alive.
And this connection is so much deeper than you might think. It's a two-way street, The forest gives the birds a home, and in return, the birds literally build and maintain that forest. So the real question is, how deep does this connection go? Let's get into it.
Okay, to really get this, we need to stop thinking of birds as just residents. Think of them more like an essential, highly specialized workforce. They've got a whole list of jobs that are absolutely critical for the forest to survive, to grow, and to regenerate.
First up, you've got the planters. So a bird like a thrush or a jay eats some berries, but here's the magic. They don't just stay put. They fly off, sometimes for miles, and, well, they deposit the seeds in their droppings. This is nature's perfect little delivery service, spreading the blueprints for new trees far and wide, helping the forest expand and heal itself. Next on the payroll, we have the guardians. Birds like warblers and chickadees, they're just relentless insect eaters. Seriously, think of them as the forest's natural pest control squad. They eat tons of insects and larvae that could otherwise just explode in population and cause devastating damage to the trees. Without them, whole forests could be at risk. Then, of course, you've got the actual architects. The most famous are the woodpeckers. And this is so cool. They dig out these amazing nest-in cavities for themselves. But here's the kicker. Once they move on, those old holes become these perfect, move-in-ready homes for countless other animals. Bluebirds, squirrels, you name it. Species that can't build these kinds of shelters on their own. And kind of managing the whole operation are the balancers. We're talking about raptors, like hawks and owls. They're at the top of the forest food chain. By keeping populations of small mammals in check, they stop those critters from eating all the seeds and young saplings. They're basically the forest managers, making sure no one group gets out of line and throws the whole system off. So you see, it's this incredibly complex, interconnected system. This table lays it out perfectly. It's not just one type of bird doing one thing. You've got all these different specialists, the planters, the architects, the guardians, the balancers, and they're all working together, in concert, to keep the forest healthy. But here's the catch. For this amazing avian workforce to do its job, they need the right kind of workplace, and not all forests are created equal. The difference between a healthy natural forest and an artificial one is, for the birds, literally night and day. And this slide just illustrates that contrast perfectly. On the left, you've got a natural forest. It's a bustling, vibrant city for birds. It has all different kinds of trees, different ages, tons of food, lots of places to hide. But on the right, you have an artificial forest, like a tree plantation. It's more like a sterile, empty office park. It's simple, uniform, with hardly any food or shelter. It just can't support the same kind of rich bird life. So, what happens when this delicate balance gets broken? Unfortunately, this whole finely tuned system is under a ton of pressure from some major threats that put both the birds and the forest they call home in jeopardy. And the threats are pretty daunting. You've got large-scale deforestation that just wipes habitats off the map. You have climate change messing with food availability. And then you have new diseases that can weaken the whole ecosystem. Each one of these creates a sort of domino effect, hurting bird populations by taking away their homes and their food. Let's just zoom in on one of these for a second. Forest fragmentation. It sounds a little technical, but it's really simple. It's when we chop up a big, healthy forest into small, isolated islands with roads, farms, or suburbs. For a bird, this can be catastrophic. It creates these dangerous barriers, cutting them off from food, from mates, from safe places to nest. For some species, it's a genuine life or death problem. Now, I know this can all sound a bit overwhelming, but the story doesn't have to end there. Understanding the problem is always the first step, and we all have a role to play in becoming an ally to these forest heroes. And this is how we can all become forest allies. It starts with something simple, just learning and sharing this kind of knowledge. It continues with the choices we make, like looking for sustainably sourced products. We can even support local conservation groups, or hey, plant some native, bird-friendly plants right in our own backyards. And finally, when we go out and enjoy these amazing places, we just have to do it with respect. Leave no trace. Every single one of these steps helps rebuild that workplace for our avian architects. So I'll just leave you with this thought. The next time you're out in a forest and you hear that chorus of chirps and calls, I hope you hear more than just random noise. I hope you hear the sound of a system at work. The planters, the guardians, the architects, all doing their jobs. The sound of a healthy forest, literally being built all around you.